He's deserving of it. Oh, boy.
You shot an arrow through the heart of her teepee.
What a show of shows! What a super saga of laughs, girls, music, and excitement. Starring those mirth-provoking cowpokes, Abbott and Costello, in their funniest picture to date. Plus, the harmonizing of the Merry Mac.
He left her beside the Rio Tinto shore.
Plus, the romancing of Dick Ferran and Anne Gwynn. Plus, rip-snorting action by that Western ace, Johnny Mac Brown. Plus, the music of the sensational sepia songstress, Ella Fitzgerald.
A tisket, a tasket, I lost my yellow basket. And if that girlie don't return it, don't know what I'll do.
Get a wedding license ready or else. Or else. I'm getting sick and tired of having those Indians threaten me. I'll give them 10 minutes to get out of town. No! Listen. Yes! Come on!
We're all together, side by side.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Morning Western Roundup. A little bit different show today. We're doing a Western comedy. As you can see from the trailer, we just watched ROUNDUP Cowboy. Now, Saturdays for me, growing up as a kid, was always about Abbott and Costello. I loved watching Abbott and Costello on Saturday mornings, so I think this is a good transition. This is one of their early ones, 1942, directed by Arthur Lubin, who directed most of their early ones, including Buck Privates, In the Navy, Hold That Ghost, and Keep 'Em Flying. This was the last one that he did for them. The earlier Abbott and Costello movies, I find, are better than much of the later ones, and some of that is due to some of the tragedy that happened in Lou's life, particularly in 1943. He contracted rheumatic fever and was laid up for almost a year. And the same year, he lost his son in a tragic drowning accident in their backyard pool. And I always felt that Lou was never quite the same after the films of 1943 and into certainly by 1945. The rheumatic fever, you could tell, physically took its toll on him and his heart. He looked older. He aged faster. The timing wasn't always as best as it was in those early ones, and also he seemed more sad in some of his roles. But these early ones are my favorite. There's some really good ones later on. Of course, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, but I'm generalizing here as far as like in these early days. This one is okay. You know, I never promised good Westerns. I just said we're going to talk about Westerns. And to be quite honest, when I suggested this last week, it'd been a long time since I'd seen it. And Julie and I watched it last night. And it reminded me of some of the things that just don't work in this film for an Abbott and Costello film. Because one of the main things is there's no really good bits in it. Abbott and Costello, their best movies have these great bits. You know, say you're in love with a girl that's 10 and you're 40. Ordering, you don't put mustard on a hot dog. Bagel Street. You know, the things go on and on. That this has more wordplay in it. You know, which it's okay. You know, there's some really nice songs in it. The Merry Macs sing some really great tunes. And this is the film debut of Ella Fitzgerald, who is a lot more than a sepia songstress, as they said in this trailer. The legendary Ella Fitzgerald, and she sings a tisket, a tasket in this for the first time. It's, you know, it's fine. The movie comes to a screeching halt with this whole Indian sequence where Bud and Lou go into this bunkhouse, and they do sort of a tired old burlesque routine where they have an Indian dummy, you know, and Lou thinks it's real, and Bud shows him that it's not. But then the real Indian comes in, gets rid of the dummy, and then, you know, hijinks ensue. And then that dovetails into this like freaky LSD dream that Lou has about Indians, which just seems to me like it was a lot of filler that they had to throw in there. It had nothing to do with the plot. The gags aren't any good. So it really slows it down. But then the movie gets going again too, because there's a great chase scene. There's a great car chase scene where the Indians and the bad guys are chasing after Bud and Lou in this little buggy, and they're going all over the West in it, and that's really cool. Dick Foran, I love Dick Foran. You know, as you know from my 31 Days of Monsters, and when I did The Mummy's Hand. He's always solid, great romantic lead, and he was a singing cowboy. So when he gets up on the horse and starts singing, you know, he's great. Anne Gwynn is beautiful in this. Of course, we know her from 31 Days of Monsters too, House of Frankenstein, and many Universal films. Johnny Mac Brown is in this, who was a football star at the University of Alabama. Got into movies in the silent era. And then, you know, just kind of ended up in low budget Westerns and stuff by the 40s and 50s. So, you know, it's pretty much it for this picture. It's pretty good. It's not great. It's not a great Abbott and Costello film, but it still has that charm to it, you know, which I always loved. You know, it immerses you into the events that are happening. So let's see who's in here. Monster Fan, good morning, everyone. This movie is one of the boys' great early films. Okay. Glad you liked it. Purple Valkyrie, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Hyper Kaiju. Man of War 665, Neighbor of the Beast. Dude, you need a shorter name, because every time I say you on here, it's like, I gotta read it out. Hi, Graham Nolan in chat. Milk the cow's udder. To the cow's udder what? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about wordplay. You know, they're not really bits, but there's like these little bits of wordplay where Lou takes a phrase literally. You know, put that chip on the table. You know, or put that chip in the pot when they're playing poker, and the guy's pouring a pot of coffee, and of course he takes the chip and throws it into the pot of coffee. You know, I don't find that stuff particularly funny. I find it a little tired, but Dead Drop, good morning. I don't want to say drop dead like I have before. Having internet issues, but I made it. Hi, Graham and everyone. Oh, okay, Fearless Freak. Glad you made it. I beg your pardon. I never promised you a good Western. That's true. I just said we would talk about them. Politically Correct Fairy dies every time you watch a scene from this movie. There is a few things, especially in these early Abbott and Costellos. Oh, Cool Cotton says, pet pumpkin for me. Well, Pumpkin's upstairs laying down right now, the little slug. She hasn't come down for her appearance. She came down for the Golden Show when I did Michael Golden interview on Wednesday afternoon. Steve Lowenthal, good morning, sir. Here's you know, when I talk about bits, here's one from well, they run a bunch of them in this film from The Noose Hangs High. This was 1940, I'm not sure, 45 maybe, something like that. But they do a bunch of bits in this sequence I'm going to show you right now. It's a lot of fun. It's only like 2 minutes, but I think you guys will laugh your butts off. In this sequence, a gangster is after them, and they're planning on killing them. So they figure out the safest place for them to be is in jail. So they decide they're going to go to this swanky restaurant and just order up, you know, all kinds of dishes and stuff, and then they'll tell them they can't get paid. They can't pay them, and then they're going to haul them off to jail. So that's the lead in here. And here we go.
You surely picked out a nice place to run up a big bill.
High class, eh?
Oh, very.
Wonderful, boy. Well, eat up. Eat plenty. It's our last meal.
Okay, this is really a gorgeous place.
Wonderful.
Look at that wall over there.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a beautiful wall?
Beautiful.
You know what that wall reminds me of?
What?
This one over here.
Oh, stop. Walls are walls. Suppose you walked over there and you bored a hole in that wall.
Okay, I walk over there and I bore a hole in the wall.
Why? Why should you go over there and bore a hole in that wall?
I'm not boring a hole in the wall.
Why should you go over there and bore a hole in that wall?
Look, Ted, you said to me, suppose you walk over there and bore a hole in the wall. I was stupid enough to say I'll go and bore a hole in the wall, but you're going to put that blame on me.
That makes no difference.
I don't go around boring holes in walls in restaurants.
That's what I want to know.
If I want to get out of here, I don't have to get out through a hole in the wall.
You see that?
They got excites here if I want to get out.
Exite.
E-X-I-T out.
What makes you so dumb?
Oh, it just comes to me naturally.
Sure. Suppose you walk into a baseball field. What teams are playing?
I don't know.
Then what are you doing in that baseball field?
I don't know. You got me in here, now get me out.
Look, what is the first thing you buy in a baseball field?
A hot dog?
The hot dog.
Without mustard?
Mustard goes with the hot dog.
Not with mine.
Mustard was made for the hot dog.
No, but look, I don't like mustard.
Mustard and the hot dog go together.
Let them go together. I don't want to spoil any romance.
Do you know they spend millions of dollars every year to put up
Their
factories
timing
just to
in this is
manufacture mustard?
impeccable.
Do you know those factories employ thousands and thousands of men just to manufacture mustard? Do you know those men take care of thousands of families and homes, all on account of mustard? And you, just because you don't like mustard, what do you want them to do? Close those factories down and put all those people out of work?
Do you mean to sit there and tell me just because I don't eat mustard, I'm going to close down the mustard factory?
No, wait a minute. No.
Are you trying to tell me that those thousands of people are making one little jar of mustard like this just for me?
No, wait a minute. You don't
Well, if
understand.
they are, you can tell them not to make any more because I'm not going to eat it.
All right, so you don't like it.
I like Worcestershire shorts.
You like what?
Worcestershire shorts.
Worcestershire shorts.
You can't even share it. But I don't go for mustard.
You don't like mustard, huh?
I don't like it. No, I like Worcestershire shorts.
You don't know why you dislike it.
Look, I'm not going to put nobody out of work. I told you before, I don't put nobody out of work.
All right, forget about it.
Okay.
Sit here like a big dummy. I don't know why I hang around with you. You can't answer a question.
You said that I was putting thousands of people out of
That's
work.
what you're doing.
I'm not putting anybody out of work.
Men walking the streets, husbands walking the streets, doing nothing.
I'm not putting any husbands out of work.
You don't even know what a husband is.
A husband is what's left of a sweetheart after the nerve has been killed.
But listen, no remarks out of you. Ask you simple little questions and you say nothing at all.
Why don't you ask me a little easy question?
Will you answer it?
A tiny one.
So suppose you had $5 in one pants pocket and $10 in the other pants pocket. What would you have?
Somebody else's pants on.
Yeah, you see, you want to answer
I
the
ain't got no
question.
money. What are you asking me those kind
I'm
of
not asking you
What
that.
do you want?
It's only some... Quiet. Look here. Say you're 40 years old. Now, wait a minute, just a minute.
Who's 40?
Just say, pretend you're...
Here's the classic.
All right. Pretend
I'm
you're...
a boy.
All right, wait a
I'm
minute.
a
Pretend
boy.
you're 40. Pretend you're 40 years old. And you're in love with a little girl, say, 10 years old.
This one's going to be a pip.
Well, now, wait a minute. I finish it.
They did this one in Buck Privates, too.
Well, wait a minute.
I got a good idea where I'm going to wind up.
Will you wait a minute, please? Now, you're 40. She's 10. You're 4 times as old as that girl. Now, you couldn't marry her, could you?
Not unless I come from the mountains.
Never mind that. I'm asking you one little simple question. You want to answer it?
Go ahead.
You're 40. She's 10. You're 4 times as old as that girl. Can't marry her, so you wait. Oh, you wait 5 years.
I'll wait 5.
Now you're 45. The little girl is 15. Now you're only 3 times as old as that little girl, right? Huh? So you wait 15 years more. Now the little girl is 30. You're 60. Now you're only twice as old as that little girl.
She's catching up.
Yes. Now here's the question. How long do you have to wait before you and the little girl are the same age? Now go ahead. Now there's a very simple question. Think
Very
hard.
simple.
I mean, the whole thing is ridiculous.
What's
I
ridiculous
mean, if
about
I
it?
keep waiting for that girl, she'll pass me up.
What do you mean?
She'll wind up older than I am.
What are you talking
And she'll
about?
have to wait for me.
Why should she wait for you?
I was nice enough to wait for her.
Oh,
Well,
stop.
she thinks she is anyway. If she don't want to wait for me, I don't have to marry her.
Marry her.
She's a nice girl.
Wait a minute. Do you know this girl?
No.
Then why should you marry a girl you don't even know?
I asked you to ask me a simple one, didn't I? A real one.
I did. Take it easy. Take it easy. You're going to jail fast enough. I'm getting excited.
Ask me a
All right,
simple
simple.
one.
Every time I talk to you, I
Ask
get
me
a
that
headache.
question slow again.
Headaches is all I get when I talk
Why
to
don't
you.
you take aspirin?
Take an aspirin. You're telling me to take an aspirin?
That's good for a headache.
Have you a license to practice medicine? Huh? Have you a license to practice medicine? Doctors all over the world, they study, they spend their lives. They go to college to become doctors. You tell me to take an aspirin.
When one friend has a headache, another friend tells him to take aspirin. That's all. It's a simple little thing.
You have no business.
Don't take the aspirin.
Or I should go around with a headache, huh? There's a fine pal.
Why don't you take a little bromozoser?
Never mind. I'll take what I want. Here. Say you're in the Grand Central Station, New York City. Right? Will you stop that, please? Put it down. You're in the Grand Central Station.
Yeah.
You buy a ticket. Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere.
What are you buying a ticket for?
I'm not buying any ticket.
And what are you doing in the depot? Oh, you are, you see?
Same as the baseball game. Now you got me in a depot. What am I doing in a depot?
What are you blaming me for all these things? You know where you were going when you went in?
I don't know. You put me in this station.
Don't blame everything on me.
Now that I'm there, I'll have to find some place to go.
Find some place to go.
I'll go bye-bye.
Where's bye-bye?
Where's bye-bye?
Where is bye-bye?
Oh, that way someplace.
What's over there?
Bye-bye.
Oh, stop. Will you please talk sense?
I'll go to Baltimore. I don't want to go, but I'll go.
Baltimore?
That'll sound
Why
right.
Baltimore? Why did you have to pick out Baltimore? Of all the towns in the United States, why did you have to pick out Baltimore? What's the matter with Philadelphia?
I got friends in Baltimore.
Suppose you had friends in Philadelphia.
Then I go to Philadelphia.
What happens to your friends in Baltimore?
I'm not talking to them anymore.
Suppose you were married, had a wife, and your wife was in Philadelphia.
Then I go to Chicago.
Oh, go ahead, eat your shrimp. Go ahead, eat it. Get it over with.
Don't push it into my mouth.
Go ahead.
After all, you ain't paying for this. I'm splitting half of this.
It's all right, come on.
Pay.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. Just a minute. Hey, we've got 15 minutes before the deadline. 15 minutes. Hey.
Yeah, that's what I mean by they're great bits. To see the timing in that, it's rat-a-tat-tat, one after another. I love that sequence. So, yeah, obviously that's not Western, but it dovetails into our Abbott and Costello conversation earlier. And I wanted to show that because that's the kind of stuff that made me such a fan of them, and still am. You know that Abbott and Costello are the only two people inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame that didn't play, manage, or have anything, or own a baseball team. They have their Who's on First routine plays 24/7 in a continuous loop in Cooperstown, and that is really cool. So anyway, I think that'll wrap up today's Western Roundup. Did I say hello to everybody here? Oh, John Landers popped in. Good morning, John. Welcome. Welcome from England. Ah, my brother popped in. My brother and I used to watch these Abbott and Costello movies, and we would do the routines like down pat. What he's referring to here is the scene in Buck Privates, where Bud is the drill guy, and he's trying to get him, and he's saying left shoulder arm, right shoulder arm, and it's a very funny scene where Lou is non-compliant, and he's he's letting Bud have it. Left shoulder arm, right shoulder arm. Good stuff. Good stuff. Glad you popped in, bro. Statistical Zero just popped in. Now he's figuring out he's going to have to watch it in a repeat. See, now, Michael, if I had created the Canoe in the 1940s, that would be a great one. Abbott and Costello Meet the Canoe. Okay. So, next Saturday, I think we are going to do a classic Western called The Professionals. It's one of my favorites. It stars Burt Lancaster, Lee Marvin, Woody Strode, Jack Palance. Oh my gosh, who else is in there? I'm missing some of the guys. Well, anyway. Robert Ryan. That's what I was missing. Fantastic action Western from early 1960s. And so look that one up, The Professionals. And we'll meet back here next Saturday to discuss it. Wednesday, for the storytellers, I have a guest lined up. I can't announce it yet because we haven't locked down a time, but that'll be coming soon. The one we had with Michael Golden was fantastic. Walton Weezy was great. Howard Chaykin, Chuck Dixon, Bo Smith. So far, all those interviews have been fantastic, and we've gotten to know some of these creators and their approaches to storytelling. And this next gentleman will be no different. So I hope to announce that soon. The Canoe is winding up. So if you haven't gotten on board, go to Indiegogo and back the Canoe. The books are all shipping. For everybody that's ordered, all the books will have shipped by next week for sure. So this is your last chance to hop on board that and get your copies of the Canoe, because I'll be launching Alien Alamo tentatively on the 26th of January. I'm still building some of the assets. I just got the colors from the wonderful Elizabeth Breitweiser on the wraparound cover, and it looks freaking amazing. I can't wait to share that with you guys. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up here. Wednesday, I'll announce the guest. Next Saturday, we'll be back here for the professionals. So have a great weekend, gang. And remember, go Bills. We'll see you. Bye-bye.